All right. Greetings, everybody. It is Labor Day, so don't really have anybody who's actually here with us, but figured we'd run through the keynote. It's actually kind of apropos. Devin is away this evening. She had something come up, and so she's not able to be here. Exciting, actually. Her son, Xavier, who is getting his license, I think, a week from this Wednesday. They're out buying a new car for him. Well, a new car for him. It's not a new car, if you will. So this whole keynote kind of revolves around that, like how life can kind of get busy. Devin also got a brand new job. And so we wanted to talk about some concepts we've talked about before and really just ingrain these methods into ourselves to, well, you'll see. So adapting your fitness routine to life's changes, staying on track through life's twisted road. Life is unpredictable. That's okay. Disruptions to our routine is the norm, whether it be family, work, travel, health issues, injuries, going to buy a new car, getting a new job. Perfection is never the goal. Progress is our goal. If we're looking to be perfect, we're just going to disappoint ourselves. And comparison is the thief of joy. So looking at somebody else's progress over your progress, or looking where somebody else might be as compared to where you are, they can act as an inspiration. They can act as motivation, but you cannot take that person's level of fitness and be so anti-motivated because, oh, look where they are and look where I'm not. Don't do that. Comparison is a thief of joy. Learning the ebb and flow of life can help us not to beat ourselves up when things don't go as planned. So again, Devin, was supposed to be here on this call tonight. She wrote me a bunch of texts and was so apologetic, and it's okay. Like, these things happen. Life happens. Nobody's on this call tonight. Obviously, it's a holiday, but when things don't go as planned, we have, God willing, so many more days, so many more hours, so many more minutes for us to go again, try again. Flexibility is the key. And I'm not talking about, dynamic flexibility or yoga flexibility. I mean, being able to, things come up unexpectedly, and whatever that is, we need to be able to pivot and not get stuck on the fact that, oh, I had this very specific plan, I had this all written down, and now that B hasn't happened, how am I supposed to go to C? And if C doesn't happen, how can I go to D? Take a step back, breathe, figure it out. Nothing has to be absolute. It just doesn't. Decreased energy levels or exhaustion, that can also be a challenge, especially when we're changing routines, when we have a new job, when, something comes up unexpectedly, somebody is sick and you've got to go, pick them up from school or whatever that might be. We need to kind of figure out whatever's going on. We need to know when we can push through or when it's time to take a break and when it's time to rest, right? Have we worked out 3 days in a row? We wake up on that fourth day, we have a plan set, but we're just exhausted. Do we take a break or do we push through? You're going to have to figure that out. And that's all going to come in time. I've been running a bit more it was Sunday. On Sunday, I ran 5 miles. I was relatively solo. I was out there with a bunch of guys, but they were all faster than me. So for the most part, we had this loop going. There were 2 1-mile loops, and so we would kind of pass each other every so often. But for the most part, I was alone. For the first 2 miles, the first mile of any run for me, I think for anybody, is just god awful. You don't want to be doing it. And then you're 2 miles in, you're starting to feel better. My 3rd mile, I felt amazing. And I'd been running about 4-ish miles. And I got to that 4th mile and I started to slow down. And then from that 4th into that 5th mile, I was having aches and pains and this and that. But I knew I could push. There was something, you kind of start to learn your body. Said, all right, this hip, this, that. I knew I wasn't going to go 6. I knew that I could get to 5. I had about 3/4 of a mile to go. I pushed through it. I felt great at that 4.5 mile mark. And I said, all right, I got a half a mile to go. And that's when I went. Had it been 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the past, and I got to a certain point, I may have stopped because I didn't really know or understand yet. You need to figure that out. You never want to push too much. I know Devin's not here. I don't want to, speak for her. But we were talking. She's been taking powerlifting classes, and maybe it was a week or two ago, but she went to the powerlifting class. She did too much too soon. And then for 3 or 4 days, she was just out of commission. You don't want to do that to yourself. You want to make sure that you're still capable of living your day-to-day life. That's the whole purpose of this program, right? Be strong, be able, be well. You don't want to push so hard that you can't even live. Oh, what happened to my slide? Oh, I don't know. All right. So sometimes it's best to just focus on the essentials. When life gets busy, all we need to do is the minimum to keep our bodies in that forward motion, right? So F3, the group that I'm a part of our, I don't want to call it our mission statement, but something that, because our mission statement is separate, but one of our values is acceleration. And as much as we always want to be accelerating in our personal lives, in our love lives, in our fitness, sometimes stagnation or just, keeping the level that you've attained just by doing basic tasks, even if that just means like, okay, you can't get to the gym. Let's say it's a Thursday, your normal, routine day. That's when you go to the gym or whatever it might be. Something happens, something comes up, doesn't matter what. And now you can't get there. What can you do? Can you go for a walk instead? Right? Maybe the extra 15-minute drive to and from the gym. So now you got that 30 minutes. Maybe that 30 minutes is gets eaten up, but you still get that 45-minute chunk where you might have been in the gym lifting. All right. So then do some squats, do some push-ups, do whatever it is that you can do. Take that chunk of time. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's only a 15-minute run or a 15-minute walk, whatever you have time and energy for that day, even if you have to break it up into 3 or 4. Well, 4 is probably a lot, but let's say you don't have a half an hour, 45 minutes, 60-minute chunk or whatever was planned that day, but you can look at your calendar and you see, oh, I got 10 minutes here, I got 15 minutes there. Do something with that. It's every single day, as much as, we want it to be this perfect thing. We want it to be this perfect acceleration, this perfect forward motion. We might not be able to achieve that. So long as we can maintain with little pieces on those days that get hectic, it's better than nothing. Staying positive and focused during those days, the mindset, we talked about mindset in the past, and it's going to continue to come up throughout your entire fitness journey, which is going to be, we're not talking about a sprint here, it's a marathon. If you live to be 100 years old, that positive mental attitude is still needs to be a part of your everyday. The slide says much of this process is mindset. I probably should have said all of this is mindset, truly. If things don't go exactly as we planned, we should not just throw in the towel and say, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Because it's so easy, especially for those of us who still haven't figured out how to temper our diets and what we're eating or not eating. I can give you an example. So I really love chocolate munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. I can't tell you the last time I had one. But if I were, let's say, to have a chocolate munchkin, one of them, I think it's like 50 calories or something, but whatever. It's not like me having that one munchkin. I'm not going to throw the rest of my day away. Is it going to screw up my macros? Because I track my macros on a daily basis a little bit. It's certainly going to have more carbs and fat than I'm probably supposed to have to my protein balance. But like, just because I have that one munchkin doesn't mean that whole day is a waste. Now, if every day I start having a munchkin, there's a problem. Or if I have that one munchkin and then I have two, and then I have three, and then I have four, that's going to be a problem. But we need to reframe our thought process, right? Like nothing is perfect, and we need to meet ourselves where we could find a way, each time to show up for ourselves so that we can gain confidence and not be set up for failure from these future obstacles. So remember, we're making promises to ourselves here. Is that munchkin, is the taste of that munchkin for me worth it for me to know that all the running that I put in on Sunday, which burned, let's say, I probably burned about 1,000 calories. It's very easy to just eat that 1,000 calories at Dunkin' Donuts. I get a breakfast sandwich, a donut, and iced coffee, and I'm probably 3/4 of the way there. So, treating yourself, sure, but we don't just want to throw everything out the window because something isn't perfect. You have a handful of M&Ms because you have a little bit of a weakness that day. Don't throw the day away. Take it as one loss and just continue to stack your wins. This leads us to, I believe this is our final slide. It's a quick presentation tonight. Be kind to yourself. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness. Treat yourself how you would want to treat your partner or your child. Be kind to yourself. It's very easy to beat up on yourself. It's very easy to break promises to yourself, but you would never want to break a promise to your child or to your significant other. So treat yourself the way you would treat them. Listen to your body, right? Adapt your workout as needed. Like we said, if you're working out 3 days in a row and you're super tired on that fourth day, take it easy. Maybe you just go for a walk instead of the high intensity interval training that you had planned. Or maybe you're completely beat and you just need to take a spa day. Consistency over perfection, right? So showing up is more important than being perfect. Any movement is progress. So even if you can only do 10 minutes on that day where everything went to, hell in a handbasket, that's okay. It's the consistent movements forward that will get you into that accelerated position of fitness. And remember, your fitness journey, as I said earlier, is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We are going to pace ourselves. We're going to prioritize recovery, and we're going to focus on sustainability. This is a long-term process. And even throughout this process, there's going to be, an ebb and flow. Is this my final slide? Yeah, it totally is. So there's going to be this ebb and flow of your fitness journey. You're going to come into, like right now, I'm probably at like 16, 17% body fat. I'd love to get down to 13% body fat just to kind of see what I look like at that, but I'm not going to be 13% body fat for the rest of my life. It's going to fluctuate. It's just, that's the way that this whole thing operates. This is absolutely a marathon. This is not a sprint by any means. And be kind to yourself, practice consistency and acceleration. So with that, be strong, be able, be well. I hope to see all of you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon.